One of the best things about getting together with the church family are the delicious treats, desserts, wonderful things that they bring. And one that always shows up, and I have never made before myself, is Butterscotch peanut butter marshmallow squares. They are so good. They can also be called confetti squares because of the pretty colored marshmallows that they add into them. They look really easy to make. They are really easy to eat. And I have never made them before. But tonight I am going to make them. And I'm going to make them to the best of my ability because one, I've never made them before, and two, I only have half the ingredients that I need, I think. So I am going to tell you what I'm doing as I go along, and you be sure to check out the description box down below to find all of the ingredients and everything listed out there as it should be. But I'm doing it with half sizes. So here we go. What is it? Necessity is the mother of invention, or in this case, the mother of marshmallow peanut butter squares. Yum! Here we go. So it calls for one 300-gram bag of butterscotch chips. I did not have a full bag of butterscotch chips. I had a little more than half-size bag. So figuring it out, I discovered, I think, that it's about 3/4 of a cup will be the half size. But if you've got one full bag of butterscotch chips, you need that. Into that, we are going to add our butter. Now, normally you would have 1/4 cup, but because I'm half sizing everything, I am putting in 1/8 of a cup of butter, or in my case, margarine. You can do these on the stove top in a saucepan over low heat, okay? But I am going to do these in the microwave, and I'm simply going to add everything into my Pyrex dish or measuring cup, so everything will go well. So we have our butterscotch chips, our margarine, and now I'm going to add 1/2 a cup of peanut butter. Some people add coconut to this, some people add walnuts. I suppose there's all sorts of different things that you can add. I cannot eat either of those things, and I have to admit, if I'm going to make these, I want a chance to at least enjoy some of them. So I am not going to add that. I'm just going to put in there my 1/2 cup of peanut butter. If this was a full size, I'd be using 1 full cup of peanut butter. There we are. Okay. And now I'm going to put this into the microwave, and I'm going to microwave this at 45-second intervals on just a medium power. While those are melting together, I'm going to start getting my pan prepared that I'm going to pour all of this into. So here I have an 8x8 baking dish. You can do 8x8, 9x9, whatever you have handy, and that would be for the full size. But mine's just 8x8. It's gonna beep. Beep. There we are. And I'm going to line this with wax paper. It makes it a lot easier to clean up afterward. It makes it a lot easier to pull the whole thing out with, if you so desire. And because I have a little bit of margarine left in there, and because my fingers are clean, I'm gonna just grease the inside of this a little bit. You can use parchment paper, you can use tin foil, and again, just a little bit of margarine can go a long way. This is a simple kitchen. I think anybody, a cordon bleu chef would be. If he hasn't passed out already, he probably will soon. So here's my mixture the first time. Again, I just did it at a medium. And the idea is we want everything to melt together so that there aren't any lumps in here. So if your butterscotch chips haven't quite melted completely yet, and mine haven't, you can put it back in. But this is nice and fast. The preparation time for this is only about 5 minutes. That's about as long as it takes to put everything together. The chilling and the waiting is the part that will take the longest. Coming back to my prepared pan for a moment, there are 2 ways that you can do this. You can now take your marshmallows and you can dump them into the melted peanut butter, margarine, Chippets concoction. Or you can pour them into your dish. Ooh, there we go. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I'm willing to give it a try. There we are. So that is ready, but don't do it yet, because while the peanut butter is hot, these will just simply melt and become a really sticky mess. You will not get the pretty confetti looking dessert that you want. So I'm going to make sure that my peanut butter has all melted together here. How this is all melted down quite nicely. No more lumps, but it's very, very runny, and that will just melt the marshmallows. So we're going to wait, and then when this is cooled down some, we'll pour it over our marshmallows. Okay, I have allowed this to cool for about 5 minutes now. It's still runny, but I can touch this and not burn my hand. So that's kind of another nice thing about doing it in the microwave, in my measuring cup. Actually, there's a couple of nice things here. One, I can touch it and make sure it's not going to be too hot, so that's a good thing. 2, I got this handy dandy spout right here, right? And that's what I'm going to use to pour all the goodness out. So here we go. And I'm going to try and do this as evenly as possible. Now the marshmallows, before I forget to tell you, if I were doing a full batch, you would use 4 to 5 cups worth of marshmallows. If you want them gooier, you would use fewer marshmallows. In this case, I've split it right down the middle because I don't have, like I say, as much as I wanted or needed. I don't have the full bag of butterscotch chips, so I'm working everything in half. So I'm using 2.5 cups of marshmallows. I split it in the difference. There we go. Now I am going to spread this over. What do you think? It poured in fairly well. I think I'm gonna have to mix it around so that it gets in there. But the good news is the marshmallows are not melting. They're just kind of playing around. I haven't made this before, guys. Work with me here. I think they're still going to be pretty tasty by the time we're done. Look at this. Look at this lovely mess I'm making. Isn't this wonderful? Oh, they're sticky, sticky. Rats, I wish I did have more peanut butter to them. Oh well. We'll just carry on, Shannon. Carry on, McDuff. I have more peanut butter, I just don't have more Chippets. And what you really want is a really good mix of them all. Well, we'll try to spread it as thin as we can. And we'll see how it all turns out. Because after this, what you do is you put it into the fridge and you allow it to cool for 1 to 2 hours. Well, they're gonna be good. I don't know. Maybe I'll see if I can, what I can do. I'll mess around with this and I'll show you the finished product when we're done. So I've allowed the bars to cool in the fridge for an hour now, and it has worked out very well. When I go to cut these, the confection is nice and solid, which means that it is going to be easy to cut, and then it should be easy to serve. And isn't that nice? Forgive my fingers for everything here. But you can see why these would be called confetti bars. Look at all the pretty colors from the marshmallows in there. And the peanut butter and the butterscotch chips and the butter have all melted down in beautifully here. Oh, I am so pleased with how these turned out. Oh, I'm excited. They just come right out, and there's no problem left behind in the paper. The wax paper has kept everything clean. I may not have even need to put any margarine on these at all. Oh, these are going to be delicious. I'm only going to have a little taste. There, I've cut myself off just a tiny square, and you can see the marshmallows go right on through the whole thing.
And there we have it, confetti squares, or butterscotch peanut butter marshmallow squares. These can be stored in an airtight container in the fridge for up to 5 days, or in the freezer for 2 months. Just remember to thaw them overnight. That is, if they last that long. Let me know if you make these for your family, if you make them for your friends. Just be sure to get a little bite for yourself. And enjoy!